Minister satisfied with handling of state of public emergency, holds first quarterly press briefing for the year, and pledges support for logistics sector. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Cabinet has approved $100 million for the Jamaica Tourist Board to increase advertising and marketing for the tourism sector. The move is part of government's comprehensive plan to limit the impact of the state of public emergency declared in St. James on January 18. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the announcement Saturday as he met with stakeholders in the parish. To ensure that businesses in the parish remain viable, the security forces have made changes to operational hours in the parish. During his tour in St. James, the Prime Minister visited a number of communities as well as the Freeport and Barnett Street police lockups. While there, he met with the families of detainees and public defender Arlene Harrison. During his visit to the Salt Spring community in the parish, the security forces recovered an AK-47 and several live rounds of ammunition. Mr. Holness expressed satisfaction with the conduct of the security forces.
I am very heartened to see that they have been very meticulous, that they are following a process, and indeed, where the law may not be detailed or clear, that they have put in place their own processes to ensure that their actions are above board, can be reviewed, and that there is a system of accountability.
Prime Minister Holness also used the opportunity to urge the public to continue to call 837-8888 and tell what they know. Also on Saturday, Prime Minister Holness directed the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology to fast-track a planned program aimed at replacing open flame light sources in homes with solar lights. The program, being led by the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, is geared towards vulnerable rural and inner-city communities. The Prime Minister's announcement follows a deadly fire in West Central St. Andrew, which claimed the lives of 3 toddlers Saturday morning. Mr. Holness expressed sadness at the incident and said his office would be seeking to ensure the safety and comfort of the survivors. On Friday, Prime Minister Holness toured developments in and around Falmouth Trelawney. The upgrades to make the town the gem of the Caribbean are being spearheaded by the Port Authority of Jamaica.
We want to create enclave investments. We want to make the entire town a place where the locals can enjoy world-class facilities in an intelligently planned environment, and visitors can also come and enjoy. So we have taken these master plans, which you would have seen presented in the meeting, and we are now bringing them into reality. The government supports and endorses the idea, the mission, the vision of creating an orderly port community, and we will support you with the regulation and the legislation necessary to ensure that it happens.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness reiterating the government's commitment to the shipping and logistics industry. He was speaking at Thursday's launch of Kingston Wharves Limited's total logistics facility. Connected to 40 ports around the globe, the 160,000 square foot facility is a one-stop shop for warehousing and logistics and is the largest complex on the island.
I'm optimistic, and I'm not just hopeful, but I am working towards making sure that 2018 is a better year than 2017.
And with that commitment, Mr. Holness unveiled plans to build on the foundation laid last year. At Wednesday's quarterly press briefing, the Prime Minister said youth employment would be increased under the HOPE program and the National Service Corps. He said infrastructure works were being undertaken as well as reforms to the housing sector and social protection of the most vulnerable. On the matter of security,
the state of emergency is not just targeted to the person pulling the trigger. It is targeted to every single player who forms a node in this network of criminal enterprise that is now a growing and thriving ecosystem, and we must destroy it.
The Prime Minister also insisted that plans were in place to safeguard the human rights of persons detained under the state of emergency in St. James.
I'm monitoring the reports. I've seen where there are complaints, and the government will respond.
Tuesday night saw Prime Minister Holness praising the Jamaica Stock Exchange JSE on its stellar performance in 2017. The JSE's main markets listing yielded returns averaging 50%, while the junior market averaged 43.9%.
It shows that there is confidence in the economy, as was shown, particularly business confidence in the last survey that was done. It shows that there is an appetite for risk and that there is capital for businesses to invest.
Before that, Mr. Holness was in Parliament announcing the Port Authority of Jamaica's plans to recover payments made to 14 former executives. The money was paid as a discretionary benefit, but breached government guidelines as the executives had already received gratuity payments. Moving to recover the funds is part of recommendations from a July 2016 Auditor General report into activities at the Port Authority. Mr. Holness says two of the former executives challenged the matter in the Supreme Court, but it was dismissed on November 30 last year.
The recently retired executives have filed an appeal against the court's decision. No date has been set for the hearing of the appeal. In the circumstances, unless and until the Court of Appeal makes a different ruling, the Port Authority and the government will be guided by the decision of the Supreme Court.
And that's how we close out Jamaica House Weekly. We return next time with the latest news coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.